Am I the only one that didn't know ultra-processed foods might not be our dietary doom? For years we've been told to steer clear of anything that comes in a shiny wrapper or has a name you can't pronounce. The advice has been everywhere: nutrition blogs, health magazines, even your well-meaning aunt at family dinners. If it's processed, it's poison, they say. But what if we've been looking at this all wrong? What if the foods we love to hate aren't actually the villains of our diets? What if instead we've been missing a much bigger, more nuanced story about what we eat and why? It's easy to feel overwhelmed in the grocery store, staring at endless shelves of packaged snacks and ready-to-eat meals. You might wonder, is this stuff really as bad as everyone says? The bright colors, the bold claims, the ingredient lists that read like science experiments, it's enough to make anyone second-guess their choices. Well, get ready, because science might be about to flip the script on everything you thought you knew about ultra-processed foods. The truth is, the story is more complicated than a simple good or bad. Seriously, what if the latest research is challenging the old narrative? For decades, we've lumped all ultra-processed foods into one big bad category. But new studies are showing that the story is a lot more complicated and a lot more interesting than we thought. Scientists are digging deeper, asking better questions, and discovering that not all processed foods are created equal. Some might even surprise you with their benefits. So, what's the real deal on your favorite guilty pleasures? Let's dig in. First off, what are ultra-processed foods? These are the products that fill most of our supermarket aisles: chips, sodas, packaged bread, frozen dinners, and more. They're convenient, affordable, and let's be honest, often pretty tasty. But they're also the foods that get the most side-eye from health experts and foodies alike. We're talking about those supermarket heroes. Think chips, sodas, packaged bread, foods that have become staples in many households. But what actually makes them ultra-processed? Is it just the packaging, or is there more to the story? Let's break it down. It's all about the ingredients. Ultra-processed foods are made with things you'd probably never use in your own kitchen: emulsifiers, preservatives, artificial flavors, and colorings. These ingredients help keep food fresh, make it taste better, and give it that perfect texture. But they also make us suspicious. After all, if you can't pronounce it, should you really eat it? That's the question that's haunted the processed food debate for years. It's like the whole mad scientist starter pack. But here's the twist: not every ultra-processed food is just junk in disguise. Some are actually designed to be healthier, more nutritious, or even to help people with specific dietary needs. Think about plant-based milks, gluten-free breads, or protein bars for athletes. The world of processed food is more diverse than we give it credit for. In fact, some of these foods are the result of years of research and innovation, aiming to solve real problems like food allergies, nutrient deficiencies, and even climate change. Take plant-based milks, for example. They're a lifeline for people who are lactose intolerant or allergic to dairy, and they often come fortified with calcium and vitamin D. Gluten-free breads make it possible for people with celiac disease to enjoy sandwiches again. And protein bars? They're not just for bodybuilders, they're a convenient way for busy people to get a quick, balanced snack. These foods might be ultra-processed, but they're also ultra-helpful for millions of people. Here's where it gets interesting. New research says it's not just how processed your food is, but what's actually in it. Scientists are finding that the real health risks come from foods loaded with sugar, salt, and unhealthy fats. Ingredients that can sneak into both processed and homemade foods alike. It's not the act of processing that's the problem, but the end result. What you're actually putting into your body. So, it's not the processing itself that's the problem, but the nutritional quality of the food. Foods high in added sugars, sodium, and saturated fats are linked to health issues like obesity, heart disease, and diabetes, no matter how they're made. You could make a cake from scratch at home, but if it's loaded with sugar and butter, it's not magically healthier than a store-bought version. In fact, some homemade foods can be just as unhealthy as their processed counterparts. The difference is, we tend to give homemade foods a free pass, simply because we made them ourselves. But your body doesn't know the difference between sugar from your kitchen and sugar from a factory. It's the overall pattern of your diet that matters most. Meanwhile, some processed foods like fortified cereals or canned beans can actually make your diet better and save you time. These foods can be packed with vitamins, minerals, and fiber, and they're often more affordable and accessible than fresh alternatives. For people living in food deserts or with limited budgets, these options can be a nutritional lifeline. Think about it. Canned beans are a lifesaver for busy families, and fortified cereals can help kids get the nutrients they need. Not all convenience foods are created equal, and some can be a smart part of a balanced diet. It's about making the best choices you can with what's available to you, not about chasing some impossible standard of perfect eating. For many people, fresh produce isn't always an option, whether it's because of cost, time, or access. That's where processed foods can step in and fill the gap. Frozen veggies, canned tomatoes, and even some ready-to-eat meals can help you get the nutrients you need without breaking the bank or spending hours in the kitchen. So, maybe we've been pointing fingers at the wrong culprit. Experts now say, instead of freaking out over how processed your lunch is, it's smarter to look at the overall quality of your diet. Are you eating a variety of foods? Are you getting enough fruits, veggies, whole grains, and lean proteins? Are you paying attention to how food makes you feel, both physically and emotionally? The real secret is to focus on the big picture. Eat a variety of foods, watch your portions, and pay attention to how different foods make you feel. A healthy diet isn't about cutting out all processed foods, it's about balance, moderation, and making choices that work for your lifestyle. It's about building habits that you can stick with, not following a list of forbidden foods. And don't be afraid of convenience if it helps you eat better. Sometimes a frozen veggie mix or a can of beans is the difference between a home-cooked meal and takeout. Convenience can be your ally, not your enemy, when you use it wisely. In fact, embracing smart shortcuts can help you eat healthier, save money, and reduce food waste. Meal prepping with frozen or canned ingredients can make healthy eating more realistic for busy schedules. It's not about perfection, it's about progress. Every small step you take toward a balanced diet counts, and sometimes that means reaching for the convenient option. Here's the real takeaway. Don't fear all processed foods. Read those labels. Look for options with less added sugar, lower sodium, and more fiber or protein. The ingredient list is your secret weapon for making smarter choices. And remember, marketing can be sneaky. Just because something says natural or healthy doesn't mean it's automatically good for you. Take a closer look at the fine print. Sometimes, foods marketed as organic or all-natural are still loaded with sugar or salt. Don't let buzzwords fool you. Trust the nutrition facts and ingredient list over the front of package claims. And hey, treats are totally fine in moderation. Life's too short to never eat your favorite snack. Enjoying a cookie or a bag of chips every now and then won't ruin your health. It's what you do most of the time that matters. Food is about pleasure, culture, and connection, not just nutrients and calories. Sharing food with friends and family is one of life's great joys. Don't let food rules get in the way of making memories. A healthy relationship with food means enjoying what you eat without guilt or anxiety. Ultra-processed foods, not the end of the world. Smart choices, not food fear, win the day. Remember, food is meant to be enjoyed, not stressed over. So, next time you're in the supermarket, shop with confidence and curiosity. Try new things, read labels, and don't be afraid to ask questions. Subscribe for more food myth-busting, and if you want to keep learning how to make sense of nutrition headlines, you're in the right place. We're here to help you cut through the noise and find what works for you. And drop your favorite guilty pleasure snack in the comments. Let's celebrate the foods we love, without the guilt. See you in the next video.